Fudging, fudging, Wednesdays. Clearing the energy, clear the energy. Redundant? Nah. This smudge is brought to you by Palo Santo wood. Tired of sage? Palo Santo is your fella. I like to pretend like I'm at a rave. I've never been to a rave. Does that shock you? All right, enough with the smudge, enough with the smoke, or at least this kind. All right. All right, prep music. Okay, so hey, energy party people, if anybody shows up today, welcome to Magic Mondays. The crowd is going wild. Okay. Yeah. So, Magic Mondays. Yeah. Well, since I'm basically talking to no one as far as I know, yeah, had some toilet issues. I'm having some toilet issues in our downstairs bathroom right now, and so that's kind of at the forefront of my mind. Yeah, so this might be a very quick Magic Mondays, although I know people watch later, and one of my hardcore, most loyal viewers, she sent me a message this morning saying that she can't be there, but she will. She can't be here, but she will watch later. So this one's for you, Yvonne. I don't want you to miss your theme song just because you couldn't watch live. So here we go. Yvonne is in the house. Check her out. Oh, we'll have to change that to Yvonne will be in the house. Check her out then. Okay, yeah. So, well, what do I have to say? Yeah, I have 0 notes written down. I'm like, what happened this week? Yeah. Well, let's just show me on the poll because I love this picture. Um, yeah, and all of my parts look reasonably okay. Let me talk nicer about myself. Look how nice I look. Wow, I'm 56 and a half years old. Not bad, right? And my thighs getting stronger. And yeah, and no, I have not moved on from just hanging on the pole. There's no dancing. There's no dancing, no pole dancing. I don't know if that will ever be my thing. Who knows? But I would like to get to a point where somehow I could go upside down or invert. So, yeah. And I don't know what that has to do with anything. But when I was having my ketamine treatments, I every single time, even though I knew in my mind, okay, I'm in a chair in La Jolla, California, I felt like I was upside down the whole time. Anywho, yeah. So toilet problems. What else to talk about? Okay, yeah. So, well, maybe I'll just talk about this gnarliness. Um, from yesterday, and I don't know why I am talking to myself. This really makes me question, should I keep doing this? And yeah, Coop and I are talking about maybe doing something else. Yeah, fuck man. Okay. As Dave says, it's hard to be cool sometimes. And this is one of those times. Yeah, so I got really triggered, and let me just ask, should I even bother talking about this? I thought I was gonna talk about this. Ooh, look at my veins look crazy. Okay. Yeah, should I talk about this now? Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this now. I got super triggered. I figured it out finally, but this was a real sticky one. Kind of over the course of a couple days, and well, I'll just leave you hanging at that because if no one's showing up today, then I'm not going to do it because I feel like I'm working on fumes all of a sudden because of this fucking toilet thing. Right. Okay, this is good stuff. Yeah. So without further ado, let's just get this done. So Ooh, ooh, we're catching up with Koop. We're catching up with Koop. Yeah. All right, Koop. I think it's just
Hey,
you and me, and maybe Yvonne watching later, and maybe other people watching later. Who knows? Who cares? Well, I care.
well,
Did you show
the thing we were talking about, if we go away from the streaming format and like produce a show meant to be consumed later, that would take out the whole, looking at the number of eyeballs, because we know when we're doing it, there would be nobody watching. It would be, for people. It would be for people in the future. So
Yeah.
that would take the whole. Um, but then again,
And I'm the worst promoter of things. Like, yeah.
you talk about that too. Yeah, even no one, you don't tell anybody about it. You can't be that upset if no one shows up, right? So yeah,
I
I'm
know, right? But it's
that's why I
like,
haven't.
oh, what am I doing?
That's why
Yeah.
my
It's
business
just
has never. I've never taken my. I got business cards printed up. I never went out and handed any of them out. Never. I created a Twitter channel. Never posted on. So I I get it. I get it. One thing I want to talk to you about though, if since there's no
oh,
one else here,
let's just chat.
when Roe v. Wade was overturned, remember how
Oh, was
angry
it?
you were?
Just kidding. Yeah.
Um, well, I think kind of like what I was hoping for is sort of happening, is that it pissed off a lot of people and got a lot of people motivated to vote against the Republicans. So I
Yeah.
think we've seen that so far. So yeah, I guess there's a poll, particularly among Democrat leaning voters. There's like more excitement over a midterm election there has been like ever. This is like midterm elections. No, they want every big
Right.
4-year presidential election is big, but so usually the hardcore people turn out in midterms. But yeah, a lot of first-time registered voters are going to plan to vote. I mean, so it's kind of been an awakening for people. I mean, yeah, you don't know what you got until it's gone. Thank you, Aerosmith. um, so yeah, I've just been finding that all very, very encouraging because
Oh, well, thank you. That's
it
lovely.
woke a lot of
And
people up. So yeah, there's
Erica
been a lot
is
of big.
saying hi to everyone, which is you and me. So we're all here, all three of us. Yay! Yay! And maybe Art is with Erica. Who knows? And if well, Erica, please tell Art I said hi. And let's do this. Art and Erica, Erica and Art. Thank you for joining us, doing your part. Yeah. Wow, good stuff. See what people are missing out on? Yeah, it's one of the things I'm supposed to be doing, is making a little video, which should probably take me, you would think it would take like 5 minutes, but no, it's taken forever. My web designer, I asked her to like put something on my website where it's like advertises this Magic Mondays, and I just can't get my shit together. Like I even have stuff written out that I would say, and I just can't get my shit together to make a video. It's just doing all the things and writing my book. I know everyone, you and me, because we're the only ones here right now. Bye, Erica. Have a great day.
You
She
gotta
just comes with the theme songs.
you need to
Just
put a piece of tape over that little eyeball counter. That's what I think.
I know. I should put, like I said, I should just white it out on my screen.
Yeah,
Uh, I
because I
really
mean,
should. You know what? You are absolutely right, Coop. I
if a new
totally should
person
do
showed
that.
up to the show and all I hear about you is talking about is how no one's watching, then I wouldn't
Yeah, I
be
can't help it. It's just like makes me crazy. Well, thank you for being my my
well,
watcher.
no. See, that's the whole. I mean, I guess I wish I would have enough courage to put myself out there because I'm afraid of no one's going to watch and I would feel bad.
Yeah.
So no, at least you're doing it. I totally respect that. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it's been great, and getting over the big hurdle for me, originally starting this when it was suggested, um, when I started writing my book, um, what was I gonna say? Oh fuck, this thought just went out of my head. Fuck,
yeah,
man. The big hurdle for me was that, um, I'd have to show up. I would have to be consistent with it, and it's not like I'm consistent or I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Fuck, man. How about we check in and just see if there's
yeah.
something
Let's
clear,
do that.
and
And then let's take care of that. And then I mean, then
and
go do it.
maybe we'll do a group thing, maybe we won't.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I know this is an inconvenient time, so maybe, yeah. And just making a show, that's interesting. It doesn't have to be live. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Although I
think
did
you
watch
said during the pandemic, you wanted to have, people weren't able to be at the times and places where they wanted to. They couldn't keep it. So you wanted
Right,
to have
it
some.
made sense. It
And
was it
obviously
made
now that people are over that now, they're like, they're have other things to do now. So yeah,
I know. People, how dare you? How dare you have something else to do? Yeah, but that was my biggest, like, not I mean, that and being live and being vulnerable, but yeah, promising to show up every time, um, yeah, that was a lot. But since we're just chatting, I've mentioned in the past, few weeks or so, I started taking cold showers and, at least starting off cold, and it's been really cool. Wink, pun intended, but yeah, really helpful in weird ways, and it feels badass. Um, yeah, so
actually,
and I've gotten to the point, like, where even, like, okay, sure, it's just now fall, but there have been some chilly mornings where I'm just like, "Ooh, a hot shower sounds nice." But then I get in there, and when I turn it over to hot, it becomes like, ugh, too hot, almost, like, really quickly, and I've
like
I've really grown to like the cold.
I was always a fan of hot showers, but then as soon as I would be so when I got out of the shower, I'd be sweating because I was hot.
Right? Oh, but wait, it's 11:11, so I'm just gonna put up Colleen's Ketababes, my
Yeah.
ketamine team. So make a wish. It's 11:11. Make a wish if you would like.
Now, that's not the original. Is that the Cameron Diaz remake silhouette, or is that the original?
I don't know. It was unlabeled when I found it. It was just a picture.
Yeah, I watch those
Um,
angels. Man, oh man.
Hi
Oh,
Karen. I'm glad you're here.
Smith. I thought
Karen. Oh, I have a theme song for Karen too. What am I doing here? Da. So, Karen, this is for you. Karen, 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 Karen. I'm Karen that you're here. Hey! There's a lot of welcomes and heys for my dismount for my 5 second craptastic theme songs. Okie dokie. So, yeah. So cold shower's good.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say yeah, hot showers make you sweaty. I usually do it the opposite way though. I'll start out warm or hot because I have oily hair and always have oily skin. I just mean warm water moves that off you more easily than cold. But then yeah, when I'm done, I just crank that right. I just turn off the hot and crank it all the way to the cold and just it's that adrenaline rush that it really is. And
Well, it's called a oh, what is it called? Something reflex, diver's reflex.
yeah, I
Like,
heard something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
yeah, and
Um,
it does all kinds of cool things for your body. And somewhere in there, it helps produce brown fat that's better than regular old fat.
Really? Okay. Because all I know is that yeah, since you started talking about it, I've started doing that, and that I think it has. I don't know if it's directly related. I can't understand the mechanism, but I feel like since I have had an easier time getting up off the couch and doing the things that are hard for me anyway, like calling and canceling cable. I put that off for like 2 months just because I didn't want to have that, and they did. They made it as horrible as possible. I had to. Are you sure you don't want to try this, or we'll try this? Like, no, you're not hearing me. I want to cancel. It took me for like 40 minutes anyway. So that's the kind of stuff I hate, and I don't do. But since I started ending myself with a really really cold shower, I felt like I have more reserve to draw. More, I can do the hard things that I don't want to
That's
do.
what my friend Anne said. That's one of the convincing things she said. It's kind of like it shows me that I can survive the hard things. I can do the hard things. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of
wow,
weird.
who knew from a cold shower?
Yeah. So no, that's what made me start doing it when I heard you say that. You relate that because that's what I needed help with is doing it. And I don't know, maybe it's just placebo. I don't know, but it seemed to have helped. So
And it's funny when thanks for saying that about placebo. It's like, I remember being in chiropractic school and, they talk about placebo, placebo. And it's like, okay, if some people get well because of the placebo effect, doesn't that just prove like the whole mind body connection? And how come a placebo is a bad thing? Like, if you can get better without the horrible drug or whatever, the pharmaceutical
yeah.
bullshit, like, isn't that amazing? Like, placebo, like, yeah. So why is it a bad thing? Oh, and Shannon is here. Um, when canceling, you need to say you're leaving the country when canceling.
Oh, Xfinity. kind of leading the leading.
Oh, okay, cable. I'm like, what am I canceling? What am I missing? Oh my God. And Shannon, how do I still not have a theme song for you? That is just, I guess, just I can't get to all the things. So once again, you're just gonna have to have an on the spot theme song. Shannon is here. How about that? Welcome.
I like
Yeah.
that little thing in the middle. That you're.
Wow, that was extra sad, but welcome, Shannon. I'm glad you're here. And she says geez. Okay, I think she's saying geez to the cable and and love it to the theme song. That's at least that's what I'm going with. Yeah. So should we do some let's do so originally I got when I was checking myself before the show, I got that I'm gonna be doing some work after we're done here today, after I make myself some coffee. I'm gonna work on this left hip thing that's been going on. I'm sure it has mom stuff in it. I always ask the scary questions like, is this a medical thing? Like, do I need to have this checked out medically? Like whatever the fuck that means. Um, yeah, like, do I need to put it in those people's hands? No. Okay, good. It's an energetic. Yep. And it's not horrible, but it's been lingering for a while. So I still, it's been an onion I've been peeling for a while now. Aw. And in other news, please tell me the hurricane will not hit my area. I know, Shannon. I've been thinking about you every time I hear about like this hurricane's getting like bigger and bigger. Um, yeah, sending you love. I wish I could guarantee that for you. Um, but yeah, but sending love and safety energy your way. Um, yeah. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. I'm sure it was amazing though.
Hurricane.
Uh, yeah. So what I was getting this morning that I was gonna as I'm asking about this left hip thing later, I asked if there's one of okay, so something that's been showing up is what resonates as an incarnation or a fail to incarnate fully issue. That's just kind of the idea. So say just parts of us that haven't fully come in, and it's just another opening for magic. Yeah, and I probably did the most gnarly, coolest session ever. This past Saturday, and it was this convoluted, like, knot uh, that got entangled for this lovely woman I work with. Anyway, and so asking about my left hip, I get that it's some kind of an incarnation issue, and I got that, yeah, I should do it for the group today. But mm, yeah, it feels like too much for being on camera. But thank you, me, for reminding me. Earlier, I was thinking if anybody is interested for next Monday, if you're interested in showing up and being on camera live and working on hopefully one of those incarnation issues, I think it'd be really interesting. I'd rather not do it on myself because that just seems a little self serving and like, eh. Um, ooh, somebody named Facebook user says, my left hip is jacked too. Hmm. Yeah, okay, Facebook
Maybe
user.
you're
Er,
maybe they're your volunteer next week.
I would no offense, Facebook user, but just the fact you're just only listed as Facebook user isn't enough for me to invite you to possibly be my my subject. Hi, Anne. Do I know you, Anne? Do I know you personally? Are you the Anne I'm thinking? No, that's wrong spelling. You're not the Anne I know. Yeah, so but welcome, Anne. I feel like I should come up with a little theme song for you. What would that be? I am drawing a blank. I cannot juggle all the thoughts right now. So, Anne, I hope you show up again sometime and I'll come up with a theme song for you next time. Anyway, yeah, but I thought it would be cool if anybody wants to volunteer. But you'd have to show up. You'd have to be available at 11 Pacific time, or 11:30 Pacific time. Um, she says, I don't know why I'm Facebook user. Sorry. Well, I'm sorry, Anne, that I was blaming you. I just, when it comes to my magic, I get a little like, Because I don't know how many of you out there get random messages on Facebook like, "Hi, beautiful, let's talk," or "Hi, just hi, who are you?" Yeah. And Coop, remember a while back, there was some dude, and you and I were discussing, and you were defending him. He was totally a scammer, by the way. Is like, oh, he's in the military, he's a widow, and he's overseas, and he came across my profile, and oh, I just look so nice, and he just wants to connect with me and talk to me. Could I? But he can't send me a message. So could I please contact him? And it's like, And I remember at the time it hit something in you, Coop, because you're like, "Oh, he sounds lonely." And yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah,
Okay.
no. These guys, it's a formula. It's like you go to their Facebook page, and yeah, and I've gotten several of those. Ooh, so Facebook user Anne, whose left hip is jacked as well. She is friends with Mimi. So okay,
Oh,
well, friend of Mimi, you automatically get cool points for Mimi. And just because you mentioned Mimi, and just in case Mimi ever watched this later, um, I'm gonna play Mimi's theme song. Here we go. Do re mi 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 mi. I love you, you. You're awesome. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Well, seriously, Anne, you get cool points just by Mimi being Mimi's friend. And let's just put it out there in case anybody is interested. My website is energyhealingwithcolleen.com. If you're interested in a session, or I've got lots of useful stuff on there. You can look at some pendulum porn if you'd like. Sign up to be on my book list for my book that will come out someday. It's practically all I think about. Yeah. So yeah. And yeah.
do
So
you sell pendulums? Do you still have pendulums for sale?
I do still have some pendulums for sale, and if they ever sell, great. If they don't,
Because
okay.
Bria relocated a couple. Yeah, she can't find hers, and I just
Oh,
I told her it was better for her to find her own, but I would ask you if you had any for sale. So
I do. I sell them for 200 bucks. So, that's a little pricey for a pendy, but yeah, there's a lot of magic in them. And yeah, so it's just not that the ones at the store can't, everyone finds their magic wherever they find their magic. But these fuckers are magic. She says with love. And the potty mouth that she's had for approximately 51 years. Yeah. Anywho,
some days are better than others, as far as the swearing goes. Some days are better than others. But I'm a big fan because I think it for me anyway. It's a release. It's like I
swearing.
mean, yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's a very I let emotions out. I probably vent. If I didn't do that, I it wouldn't be good for me. So
Yeah, and I can't tell you, like, I mean, whenever I start a session with a new person, I tell them, I swear a lot. Is that going to bother you? Because if it is, I'll make.
because words have power. Some people are really bothered by it, but
Yeah, and I don't want to ruin somebody's session because I swear here and there. I mean, I swear, yeah, whatever. Um, oh, we have a volunteer. Oh, okay, Erica. Hold on to that thought. Yeah, man, there are so many things going through my head. I cannot keep up. Fuck. What were we just talking about?
um, I even just said some words. I didn't even know what they were. What was I saying?
Yeah, dude, welcome to my world. I don't know. Is Mercury still in retrograde? Is Mercury always in fucking retrograde? We were talking about
Oh,
pendies.
pendulums. Yes.
Yeah, I was just writing the chapter about how I came to make my magic pendulums, and how to choose and use a pendulum for my book. Man, I'm keeping it real simple, but fuck, it's amazing how complicated real simple can be.
Yeah. I mean, if you really want to explain it, I mean, so there's no chance of ambiguity. It can take a lot of words. Really can. So
Yeah, and I just have to remind myself I cannot cover all the bases. Um, yeah, like every single possibility of what could happen. Um, And sorry, I'm doing two things at the same time. I'm just writing down your name, Erica. So Erica, I'll let you know sometime soon. And if anybody else volunteers, then I'll ask with my pendulum. Otherwise, I'll just make sure that you would be a good volunteer, Erica. And like I said, all you have to do is be able to show up at 11:30 by 11:30 next week. Yeah. And Erica, seriously, if I pick you to be the guinea pig, that sounds weird. That sounds like we're experimenting on you. And if you can't show up at that time, no worries. This is a free flowing show, if that's not obvious. But yeah, Erica, I will let you know. So, Pendies, yeah, there's a part of me that just wants to pick one and they're hanging over there. That's why I'm looking over there. Pick one and just send it to Bria.
Uh, she should pick. I mean, well, we talked about it before, and I mean, in fact, her and I went and bought her one at our local witch store, and she just can't find it. So, but I mean, she has one somewhere, so she can find it tomorrow. So don't don't
That's
hurt
true.
yourself.
You know, and sometimes it's time to change your pendulum. Like that's happened to me several times over the years. Yeah, so sometimes they get lost because they need to be lost or whatever.
Or maybe
Whatever.
she's not supposed to find it yet. I don't know. But yeah, don't worry about that. I mean, I'm sure she could find one locally if she's been,
Of course she can.
she want to, but she could, yeah, if she just really want to, she could find one. So.
Yeah, and the only reason I get excited about mine, well, because they're mine, and I created each one individually, and my brother's body piercing jewelry factory created them or produced them, and they open up, they screw open, and they're just so cool. They're just fucking cool.
I remember when you do that. The pictures, yeah.
Oh my gosh! And for my chapter about my pendulums, part of it is like how I got the shape of it because my brother offered to make some. I was whining about my pendulum that I was using at the time, and he's like, "I can make you a pendulum." And then it took me months. Finally, I sent him a design, but it took me forever to find the design, which I was led to by our house Javier. Anyway, why am I saying it half-assed? But basically, Javier led me to, after months of pondering what shape should it be, led me up to our bedroom. And immediately, standing in the doorway, I saw exactly what Javier was bringing me to, and it was the Queef Master 3000. That's what we called our doTERRA essential oil diffuser because it looked like a fucking vagina, like for reals. Even the little booklet, which I cannot find anywhere, it's making me crazy. And the reason I'm talking about it right now is I'm trying to find some picture. I've taken photos of the Queef Master, but what I really want is the little instruction book for it, which literally had a real woman, standing there holding it in her hands at crotch level. At crotch level. So you can imagine when steam or when the aromatherapy is like coming out, it's the fucking Queef Master 3000. Anywho, and that's the shape because it's a teardrop shape.
That's funny.
And all my pendies before that had been pointy at the bottom. So anywho, Shannon, if you're still watching, yes, I'm adding you to the list. So I'll check it out. And please do get back to me. And if you might be available next Monday at 11:30 time, Shannon. Yeah, like you don't know. All right. Well, that being said, I just remember the toilet. Fuck. To still deal with the toilet. Put that aside, let's see. Should we do some energy work for the group? Yeah. Okay. Let's do a little bit for whoever's watching now or in the future. And let's put my magic desk down a little bit. No, you're not seeing things if you just saw my desk move. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad I don't have any clients today because, yeah, apparently my energy is being taken elsewhere. Okay, so that being said, so let's do this. So if you're watching, let's do a little grounding. I'm gonna go with first chakra right now. Yeah, so if you're interested in playing, I invite you to close your eyes, sit quietly. Not if you're driving, don't be a dumbass. Um, and, and first chakra is around tailbone area and it's red. So you just might picture a beautiful red light in that area and it starts expanding out, out, out through your entire body, through the room, filling up your home or your office, filling up your town, state, county, county, state. I can go in the right order, I swear. Your country and the globe and out into the universe. We're going to send some of that beautiful light down into beautiful Gaia, Mother Earth, and do a little howdy do with her and bring up some of her energy. And we're going to also open up our crown chakras and allow in the cosmic energy to swirl through our energy fields, meeting up with Gaia's energy so we become an interface of heaven and earth, is how I look at it and how I describe it in my book. Anywho, okay, so are there any dead people to release? Okay, so any dead people that are ready and with no questions asked, you're just ready to move on to the light. This is your chance. So do we have any dead people that are ready? Yep, for people watching now or in the future. Yep, okay. All right, Jesus, are you the best escort? Jesus, are you ready? Okay, so let's give Jesus a moment. My good friend Jesus. I'm not religious, but I do love Jesus. Just saying. He's cool. Jesus is just all right with me. Sorry, hold song. All right. So, Jesus, did you successfully release the dead people to the light? Yay. Okay, I'm going to give another little teaser about, I'm just going to talk about it for a second, just because it's in my head. So I got really triggered, like over the top response. Yeah, it happened in my writing group on Friday. So Yvonne, if you watch later, you were there. Something happened and it was very sweet. I felt like it went on way too long. I was just being a judgy little bitch, but I was getting really triggered and it was in my whole body and I was just like, oh, ugh. Like I had to turn off my camera, turn off the microphone and walk away. And I love my writing group so much. It's magic happens there. And I was just like having none of it. And I just felt so put upon and just so like, ugh, like it was palpable. I just couldn't fucking just sit there for maybe 5 minutes while something was happening. I'm not going to say what it was because it was lovely and I was just triggered. Anyway, and I got past it and then we had a nice group meeting. And then so it's kind of like, okay, whatever. That was weird. And then yesterday playing Carcassonne with Dave, we were listening to a podcast and who was talking? Oh, Ice-T. So Ice-T was being interviewed by Rob Lowe on literally his podcast. Yeah, and Ice-T, is a really interesting dude. And man, he's got more IMDb entries than anybody I've ever heard of. But anyway, and apparently he's been on NCIS for 23 years. What?
Yeah. No, not NCIS. But one of those
shows I don't watch. CSI.
Yeah, I don't watch cop shows, but yeah, he's been on with David Brenner or whatever.
Wow.
Or not David Brenner. That can't be right. But there's
Richard
some.
Belzer.
Richard
Belzer, because he talked about how awesome Richard Belzer is or was.
There we go. That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, and am I a bitch? Because when I hear the name Richard Belzer, I think ugly. What a bitch. Never call anybody ugly, but just not my cup of tea.
Is that their fault?
I did not want to have sex with him. So yeah. Yeah. And so what's my point? Oh, and so we were playing Carcassonne as we do first thing, like 4 days a week. Anyway, and Dave like, oh, give me your phone. So we paused the game, paused the podcast, and Dave looked up. He was wondering something about Ice-T. And then he just went down this rabbit hole. And I'm just like waiting. I'm like, dude, we're playing. Like, he's like, just a second. And he was just once again, and he was taking his fucking sweet time, which was absolutely fine ordinarily. because we do this all the time. We stop what we're watching and we're like, "Hey, that person looks familiar," and then we go to IMDb and look and like, "Do I recognize them?" And what else have they been in? And who cares? But anyway, we do that all the time. But I was just like in my body once again. I was just palpably like, mm, like not. I wouldn't say infuriated, but just under that, like, what the fuck? And I hurt his feelings. Like, oh, the person I wanna hurt their feelings the least of anybody in the world is Dave McCann. My favorite anything ever, and yeah, and I kind of half-assed apologize, but I'm like, "But you were taking so fucking long." It's like, "I'm sorry, but"
Right.
says Dr. Phil says, "Okay, that means but means, disregard everything I've just said." Yeah, so, like, oh, well, for my apology. And so we just kinda kept playing, and then I left the table just pissed, even though I won. Um
I was going to ask you if that had anything to do with
He should
it.
have won. He should have won, I think. Yeah, but he fucked up. So I won, and it's like, whatever, and we cleaned up, and then I took a shower and went downstairs and just quiet and, like, yeah, like, I'm all pissed at him. Oh, yeah, then I went to the store. Who cares? So boring. And so I kind of was just in this flunk, and I checked in once, and I cleaned up some stuff energetically, but then it wasn't till a lot later in the afternoon, and I'm like, "Damn." Like, I got out my journal, and Judy, who heads up our writing group, I couldn't write without her. Oh my god, she's amazing. She's always saying writing is healing. So I was just writing in my journal, like, the events of the day, and then I'm like I made the connection, like, "Oh, fuck, that has the same energy as what happened on Friday in my group." Like, that palpable, like, this isn't okay, which is bullshit. But anyway, um, and it led to this whole like incarnation issue and the body, I just use that's just the languaging that works. Um, but the body that I was looking at and was so protected and finally got to, and it was I brought it with me because I keep forgetting. My recognition body, which is interesting because I've been really thinking about, wow, when I finish this book, like I might get some recognition of some sort. Even if it's just from people, commenting here and there, like, "Oh, I loved your book." Like, that's recognition. But it's like putting myself out there on a possible bigger platform or bigger, yeah, it's like laying my life. Here we go.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. I think you have it. I think that's it.
Yeah,
Honestly.
it's like me really putting my, like, I have poured myself into this book. Um, and it's not just so it's well, it's certainly not just so I can say, "Oh, I wrote a book. Look at me." I've known so many people who've written books, so it's kind of like, eh. It's special, of course, but I'm swimming in a soup of a lot of people that it's like it's not the biggest thing in the world to write a fucking book. It is. I'll just let you know, it is the biggest thing in the world to write a book because it's fucking hard as fuck. Um,
Sounds hard. That's why I haven't started it yet.
oh my god, yeah. Anyway, but the reason I'm doing it is if it can help anybody to feel better. Because it's really hard going through life not feeling right. And despite what I look like right now, these are tears of validation. Yeah, like my life just keeps getting better and better and better, even though I'm getting older and older and older. Um, my skin might say differently, but my life keeps getting better and better and better. And that is the only thing that's making me write this book. Yeah. So, yeah, so I had to do a whole bunch of clearing of this and that for to be able to fully incarnate into my recognition body. And what was really interesting, I probably wouldn't bring it up other than by clearing that, by coming into my fully incarnating into my recognition body, then I started lightening up and then told Dave all about, and I'm giggling and back to me being normal. But man, it took a lot. So this was a really juicy one. Um, yeah. But what was really interesting about it is that yeah, when I started asking about like, okay, what's this energy? There's some connection here of me being put upon and like feeling taken advantage of, or like just something weird. Um, I started testing as age 97. Like, okay, for me in this lifetime. And every time, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes the future shows up. Oh no, the first thing I started testing as immediately was the eighth dimension. Okay. And then I was also testing as age 97. And I get that's where this snag is in me fully incarnating into my recognition body. I know it sounds crazy, but man, I think it really loosens up some old, gnarly old energy knots. Yeah. And yeah, I got that I was corded, had an energetic cord to Napa Valley. Like what? Okay, at 97. Okay, so cut that. And a shared chakra with whatever I'm writing at the time. Because yeah, and as much as I complain about all this, I'm already thinking about what my next book or books are. Um, and my psychic friend Natalie has told me for approximately as long as I've known her, for like almost 15 years now. Um, she reminded me recently when we went to the Wilco show. She's like, "Remember when I told you that you're going to write several books?" And I'm like, "No." Anyway, yeah. So prepare for more whining, especially Dave. Yeah. So basically, how I look at it is I untied a knot at 97 that helped me now come into my recognition body, and then I felt fine. So, that's the kind of shit I'm looking to work on with, either Shannon or Erica, and ladies, both of you, we can do one of you one Monday and, the other the next one. Um, and depending, I'm assuming that Coop, that you'll be on screen as well because, well, this is our show. I know it's my show and it's energy healing with Colleen, but I do think of it as okay, maybe I'm a little higher on the hierarchy because it's me doing the energy work and stuff, but I consider it our show. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, depending on, I can't imagine either one of these ladies being like, no, Coop can't watch this. So anyway, I'm glad I just worked that out in my head. Yeah, or out loud. So, but that's what I'm putting out there, ladies. So I'm just kind of putting it out to the universe that when I work with one or both of you, that we're going to work on one of those incarnation issues and see what kind of gnarly energetic knot we can untie during the show. Uh, yeah, and it gets really interesting. And I just want people to know that this is a thing. So that's part of why I'm doing this. Yeah. Anywho, that was a lot to say. Shall we do some work for the group? And I don't know if that gets anybody excited, but this is a shit that gets me excited. So, you know what doesn't excite me though? Is that in fact I have to deal with that fucking toilet when we stop. I can't think of the word. Sign off.
Yeah,
That's
there we
what
go.
I'm gonna look for. Okay.
Wrap.
Yeah. So that being said, all right. So my name is Colleen. Yes, there's something to do for the group today. Yes. This is on my master menu. Yes. This is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row. No. This is in row 2. Okay, I know that one. That's trapped emotions. So let's look at that. Yeah, taking my power, like around, or taking my power back around, like writing about how to release trapped emotions. Like my take on it, man, that caused me a lot more work. I'm like so grateful that I'm like, of course I need to talk about this. Like, I can't just give everybody else the credit for another 15 years. So, but man, is it a lot to explain. Yeah. So that being okay, now that my whining is done for the moment. All right. So there's a trapped emotion to clear for the group. Yes. This is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row. No. In row 2, 4, 4. Okay, so this is energy of unsupported, feeling unsupported. So, is there a particular place we're holding this? Yes. So as a group, we're holding this throughout our entire beings. No, we're holding this somewhere in our physical bodies. Yes, we're holding this throughout our entire physical bodies. Yes, so that's what we're going to clear it from. Yes, okay. Anything else we need to know about this? No. So it's safe and appropriate to clear this trapped energy of unsupported for the group. Yes. Okay, so if you're playing, there's nothing special you need to do. Just relax and allow if this applies to you. So we're going to send all of that energy, that vibration, that frequency of unsupported that you're holding or that we're holding throughout our bodies. We're going to send all of that energy to the light. Smell you later or not, not smell you later. We're going to fill up our entire bodies, the space once occupied by unsupported. We're going to fill ourselves up with energy of forgiveness, energy of peace, calm, serenity, safety, security, stability, freedom, and lots of support. Support at every turn. The universe is 100% on our sides. And when it feels like it's not, there's just something to look at. It's kind of simple. Well, kind of simple unless you don't know how to interpret it. So that's why I'm writing. One of the reasons I'm writing my book. Yeah, but when you really seriously, when you start looking at life that way, like, oh, things don't feel good. It's like, yeah, for me, it took a while to sit down and be able to find this space to look at those two upsets from Friday and Sunday, because it was pretty gnarly. But I always knew in the background, there's always me. I don't know why it's always like me on my left side going, oh, Muffin, you know that we're going to figure this out as soon as you can stand it. And sure enough, and at the time, it's like, yeah, yeah, I know that, but man, that stuff can feel so real, and so sometimes I just have to sit in it for a while before I check it out. But I always end up finding resolution, and you can too if you are interested. So read my book someday. Okay. So did we successfully clear this energy of unsupported for the group? Yep. Okay. Is there another trapped emotion to look at for the group? Nope. There's something else. Yeah. Okay. This is on my master menu. Yeah. This is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row. Now in row 2, 4. And our winner is, okay. I don't know how I would do this for the group. Let me just see if I still get a yes on it. So this is a deep, dark part for the group. Okay. Well, that seems like a really personal, it sounds like a personal problem. But okay. Well, as always, if there's something in this for you, then there's something in this for you. If there's not, no harm, no foul. Okay, so there's a deep dark part for us to look at. Okay. So ordinarily I would look for an age that this deep dark part was created. But since we're doing this for the group, do we need to have an age? No. Okay. It's safe and appropriate to bring light to this deep dark part for the group. Yeah. Okay, well, let's just go with that. Um, and that's part of my magic, even though it doesn't always make sense in my brain. I know there are forces at work that are more than my brain. Because if I was just trusting my brain, yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I say yeah. There's something we can do to bring light to this deep dark part so it can be a thing of the past. Yep. This is on my master menu. Yes. This is in column A. Nope. This is in column B. Yes. In an odd numbered row. Yeah. Okay. This is in row 1. Yes. Okay. That takes me to my dimensions chart. And the point I'm trying to make in my book and always is that when you start looking into your own magic and you start getting some tools like trapped emotions or releasing dead people or whatever, you just start writing them on a chart, and then you have something to refer to when the shit hits the fan. So you don't have to be thinking, what was that thing? Yeah, you get out your pendulum when you can stand it and just ask, okay, is something bubbling up to the surface for me to clear? Yeah. Is it on my master menu? Yeah. Cool. And then you go to it and you do whatever you find. And then as Khufu, my dead, rest in peace, Khufu, as always, words not coming, my old shaman friend who really helped my energy work. Like, He really boosted me up. Man, I learned a lot about myself in the years that I knew him. Yeah, so rest in peace, Khufu. I'm glad that he was able to move on to another vantage point because I think he was fairly unhappy. Anyway, magic but unhappy. Okay, so that being said, dimensions. So this dimension is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row? No. In row 2, 4. Okay. Success dimension. Okay. Sure we could all use a little help with that. Okay, so so we need to do some cleanup for our success dimensions. Yes, okay. So I'm just making myself a note. And we're looking at a deep dark part. Okay. All right. So there's something energetic to clean up regarding our success dimensions. Yeah. Okay. This is on my master menu. Yes. This is in column A. No. This is in column B. Yeah. In an odd numbered row. Yes. In row 1. No. In row 3. Okay, so that takes me to shared chakras. So we have a shared chakra thing going on. So this shared chakra that we've got going on is our first chakra. Nope. Second. Second. Okay. Second has to do with, I'm sure, a lot of things, but creativity and sexuality stuff. Yeah. Um, so, all right. So, do we need to know the details of this shared second chakra? No. It's safe and appropriate to separate all of our second chakra, our shared second chakra, whatever it's shared with. Yep. So safe and appropriate for the group. Are we ready? Yep. Give me a moment. And just a reminder with shared chakras, I see that when that resonates, to me, that means super intertangled energy, in this case, second chakra, with somebody else, somewhere else, sometime else, all kinds of things can show up. But just, I think of it as yet another drain on our energies. So the idea is we're giving everybody their second chakra energy back. Okay. So did we successfully separate our second chakras? Yep. Cool. Is there anything else to look at regarding this deep dark part of us? Nope. Okay, so we are complete with this deep dark part of us. Yes. Okay. So what led us there was looking at our success dimension. So are we complete with our success dimension? Yep. Okay. So so we're complete with that. All right. Yeah, it usually gets a little gnarlier, but you know, but not this time. Thank you, universe. I appreciate it. Okay, so is there anything else to do for the group right now? No. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at that. Yes. Okay. So any closing comments, Coop?
Um,
Coop's closing comments.
you put me on the spot here. No, just other than that, no. Thanks for everybody who showed up, and or we'll see this in the future. And yes, I follow the Ukraine-Russia war pretty closely, and just Slava Ukraina. I'll just say that.
So say that again. What was the last thing you said?
Slava Ukraina means glory to Ukraine. So I'm just
Oh,
going.
good. There's a reason I didn't understand that.
Yeah, it's in Ukraine. Actually, I even have a Ukrainian shirt on today.
Wow.
I'm I'm a big fan. They're doing a lot of good things. I mean, in a tough situation, I have come to really respect their people.
Have you ever, you probably have something important to say about this, but have you ever seen his TV show?
Whose?
I can't think of his name right now. The president?
Oh, Zelensky, Volodymyr Zelensky. No, I know he's a comedian, actor, guy, and I know he's on TV every night. So, but no, I don't.
Yeah, I think it might be on Netflix, but if you go to IMDb, you go right to it. Yeah, it's funny. He's a school teacher. Oh, I think he's a school teacher who they just decide to make him president, or he looks just like the president, or whatever it is, but they make him president.
Oh, really? Funny.
Like a little foreshadowing, perhaps, to him becoming president, like because he wasn't president yet. You know, he wasn't a president making a sitcom. So,
No, but no, he's been pretty much crushing it. I mean, he's a real leader. I mean, he's not a politician. That's kind of for sure too. But yeah, he's kind of the
Oh, how refreshing. That's
perfect
a
president
thing.
for the situation. Yeah, his country's really kind of rallied behind him, and yeah, so he's made a lot of good decisions. And I've been really impressed with every time I interviews with people in the Ukrainian government. They all seem they're all like relatively young compared to people in the United States, and they seem super competent. I mean, they just seem like to know what they're doing, and yeah, I don't know. I'm just really impressed with your.
Well, I think
And
each generation is coming in with new superpowers, so that gives me a lot of hope. And yeah, I think there's all kinds of magic happening in the background, but that's lovely to hear. Like younger people, and I say this as I'm getting older, but fuck, man, enough with the old white guys. And don't get me wrong, I love old white guys. Well, some of them. It's not that I don't love men, but fuck, man, these old white guys from this old generation, the greatest generation or whatever. Enough, enough.
well, I mean, they can only really they just don't from their perspective they can only see so much, So that's why we need
Yep.
to have a wider representation so everybody gets represented at the table. Everybody's needs are at least discussed and understood. Then we can decide about what to address. But yeah, I mean, if we only have one particular mindset in charge, it's kind of that's why the world's pretty much. I mean, all the time and effort spent on boner pills, if that could have been funneled somewhere else, that would be who knows what the world would be like that today. So anyway,
Since you brought up boners, Dave yesterday, I don't know what we were doing, but maybe we were watching something where there was a Me Too, like hashtag Me Too situation, and he said something reminded him of. He's like, I have a Me Too situation. He was 16, working in a restaurant, and he was a busboy, and one of the waitresses. So he was 16, a 16-year-old dork. Just kidding. Well, sort of. And this waitress who was like, he thought maybe in her 30s. So she'd been at it for a long time. She was a very successful, good at her job, and she had huge jugs, I think is what he said, and wore short skirts, which I'm sure helped with her being good at being a waitress or a
yes,
successful waitress. Anyway, I asked if she was really pretty, and he's like, she was attractive. And I'm like, oh, did the jugs and the short skirts have something to do with it? He's like, yeah. Anyway, but the Me Too. So first of all, he said he had a Me Too moment, and I should probably be ashamed of myself, but I started laughing. And he said, yeah, he was like doing something with dishes, and she came up behind him and grabbed his butt and said, "You're going to be real cute someday once you go through puberty." And I just could not stop laughing. And then finally, I'm like, okay, I don't want to be a dick here because, yes, men can suffer from these things too, of course. Of course they can. Of course. There are inappropriate situations that, yeah. But, yeah. And he's like, he loved it. So he was kidding about the Me Too part.
yeah, it's not symmetrical. It's not
And
the same.
he said he was 16 and to quote, instant boner.
Yeah, no
It's like
doubt.
this woman, like this older woman is like telling me I'm gonna be so cute once you go through puberty. Um anyway, so
Yeah, it's
I
not
don't
having
think you're
on that.
qualified.
It's a totally different psychological mindset, men and women. Because I mean, well, men, I mean, sex we're not the ones being penetrated. We're not letting someone else into our bodies. I mean, it's a totally different thing. So I think if men could understand that, they would not be so demanding about it for women. Not be so expected about it. It's a totally different thing.
It
It's not
really
just
is.
yeah.
It really is. And Dave and I were laughing last night. I'll just leave you with this tawdry detail. Somehow, because of that, we got into the subject of like something we had established early on in our relationship, like probably before we even got together, when we were just friends. But we talked about like how many people each of us had slept with, and which I never told my ex-husband. Like I always told him, I'll tell you, but I don't think you want to know. Yeah, because it was like his times 15 or something. Anyway, and so That's a lot. And when Dave and I talked about it first, when we first knew each other, we were like in the same decade of numbers. Yeah, and there's zero jealousy there. It's so trippy to me, and I'm just grateful for everybody he's had sex with because he learned a lot, and I get to reap the benefits. But we were laughing about like, oh my god, thank God there's not going to be a test because there are people I do not remember. He's like, yeah, me too. Like, yeah. So we were just a couple of hoe bags that fell in love, had an affair, divorced our spouses, and now we do magical work. Yeah. Anyway, well, that's a fun thing. Uh-oh, there's a sad face. I'm not sure what the sad face is for. But yeah, let's just say it's for the continuing war going on in Ukraine.
Okay.
Russia.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Because, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the sad part about it. I mean, and just civilians, kids.
I mean, I just think of all the regular people just living their fucking lives or trying to.
Right.
Cool.
And I think that their attitude and their resilience that they've shown has been really inspiring to me. So,
well, that's lovely. Well, maybe we'll make that a segment where you give a little world update on the things that you pay closer attention to than I do.
That was my thing in college. I was international. I was foreign policy. That was my thing. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just learning.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about foreign policy when we were like getting stoned at the house, the fraternity house. No. All right.
I guess. Anyway, maybe. Right. Yeah. As you talked about earlier, I really need to go. So.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for being here, and sorry about my whining, but welcome to me. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll get back to Erica and Shannon, and we'll do a live thing next week with somebody, hopefully. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, Koop. I love you so much. And yeah, see you guys later. Bye.